The hot hatch segment has been very popular for a while now. This week, I've been driving a car that had a very big hand in creating that segment. Today, we're taking a look at the 2023 Volkswagen Golf R. So as usual, we'll take you all around the car, interior, exterior, and then we'll take it on a test drive to see how it drives on the road in case you're in the market for one of these vehicles. So let's start with some of the key features that comes on the Golf R. You got your cross traffic alert, your blind spot detection, your 360-degree parking sensors. It doesn't have that 360-degree camera that we saw on a couple of the other models. You have your rain sensing variable intermittent wipers, and you also have an automatic unlocking, which means that when you have the key fob in your pocket or in your hand, you walk up to the car and it unlocks automatically for you. Super nice feature, that one. Under the hood of the Golf R, you have a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that does 215 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. It comes in 4-motion all-wheel drive, so 50-50 split. Very nice to have in the winter, especially in a small form factor like this one is. It's a 7-speed DSG, so automatic transmission, but it also does come in a manual transmission as well. So as usual, taking a look at the front of the car, it's a really nice sporty front end, really aggressive looking, exactly what you'd expect from a Golf R. Of course, you got daytime running LEDs, a nice R badging there that if you spent money on the Golf R, well then there you go. You can brag to people about that. Nice black bottom part of the car too. It really splits up the color. I like that as well. It's a really nice looking front of the car. You don't really see the hatchbackness so much. It is a very tiny car. You can kind of see it with the height of it. Really low ride height as well. I like the fact that there's a light bar at nighttime that actually joins the Volkswagen logo to the headlights. It's an interesting design feature, but I'll take it. I like it a lot. So really solid front end. Let's take a look at the rest. All right, so taking a look at the side profile of the car, this is where you can really see the hatchbackness, the hot hatchness of it. You can really see how compact it is too. And I like it. I mean, I like the color in white. It only comes in 3 colors. You can get black or blue, but it's also got these nice blue brake calipers that have the R logo on the front. It's not on the back though. There's really no chrome or anything special like that. It's really as basic paint as you can get. There's some piano black, which can get fingerprinty and scraped up a little bit, but not a huge deal there. You got a nice R logo badging there too, which we like to see that. And you also have your automatic unlocking doors, one-touch lock. It is not an actual physical button. It's more like a sensor that you kind of slide your hand across. So it's nice to have, but it does freeze in the winter, so keep that in mind. You're not really going to be able to use it in the winter. You got your nice 19-inch wheels as well. So overall, very, very solid looking just in terms of the side profile. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the rear now. So onto the back of the Volkswagen Golf R. It's really small. Again, you can see the height is really low. Nice spoiler in the back here with some piano black again, but you should be fine because it's not going to get fingerprints. You should be able to keep that clean, no problem. Nice rear wiper. It's enough visibility from the back. Nice taillights here. They've redesigned those over the years. Nice Volkswagen logo. It's big, and you got the nice Golf R there too. So when somebody's driving behind you, they know it's the Golf R. This is also where your camera is, and it's also your trunk latch or lever, whichever one you want to say there. And you have your quad tip exhaust, which is nice. There's not so much of a note. It's more pumped in audio, and you'll see that in the driving segment, but we'll take it. And the diffuser is smaller than usual or than we'd like, but it's still there. It adds to the sporty vibe of the Golf R. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trunk. Trunk space is exactly what you'd expect from a car like this. You can pretty much fit anything you need to in it. You're not going to fit anything huge or heavy in it. It's not a pickup. It's not meant for that. It's meant to be driven, relatively fast. So the trunk space is exactly what I was expecting and exactly all I would need if I was to buy this car. So let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. Take a look at the inside of the Volkswagen Golf R. I really do like the interior of the car. It's not boring. I can't really say that it's boring. It's got nice ambient lighting and all that. I really like the seats and the steering wheel. They're my favorite parts of the interior. Again, Volkswagens have done a really good job at designing the steering wheel. I like the D-cut. I like the R on here. I don't like the haptic feedback thing. Again, we said that on the Jetta GLI. We didn't like it there either. It's the same thing here. But the seats have blue leather stitching in it, and they're nice race seats. You got the R logo in there too, so we'll take that. I really like that. It kind of gives it this sporty vibe. It's got kind of an interesting gear selector where it almost looks like another key fob that's kind of inserted there, and that's how you control your rear, neutral, and drive shifting. It's piano black, which will get fingerprinting, and it is already dirty. I can tell you that right now, but it's not a lot of piano black, and it's not really a high touch area, so I'll take it from there. Coming on to the different interior features, you have heated steering wheel. They didn't give it to us on the Jetta GLI, but here on the Golf R, I can assure you we got that heated steering wheel. And you have heated and ventilated cool seats for the passenger, and also in the rear, it's heated but not cooled, but we'll take the heated. That's completely fine. It also comes with dual zone automatic climate control. And so it has all these nice key features that you'd expect from a car in this price point around the 45K mark. But the biggest drawback of the car, the biggest drawback of the interior is the fact that everything's controlled via the infotainment system. It is big. It doesn't lag a lot. It's a little bit on the slower end, especially when you just want to change your fan speed or your fan settings or where the heat's coming from, or you're changing from the AC on or whatever. It's all controlled in there. So when you're driving, it's actually more of a distraction than a convenience. With physical buttons, and they do have enough room, I think, to put physical buttons, you don't really even have to look at it or spend any time thinking about it. You automatically know where those buttons are. Here, it's not exactly the most usable thing in the world. You've got two USB-C ports that will connect to Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but it is wireless, so I never end up using the wire in the car. And also there's a wireless charging pad here too, so that's nice as well. There's a little bit strange cup holders where one folds out and then the other one's just kind of like a hopefully your drink doesn't spill kind of thing, which is, it's fine. I mean, usually you're not going to be driving with a lot of people in this car. It's not the biggest thing, so this is more of a driver focused car, and that's kind of where it shows that. On the left hand side here, I have my lighting controls, and it's like a touch screen, but not really. It's kind of like the haptic feedback thing on the steering wheel that I have here. And it's strange, and it's like, it's easy to reach, but it's still, again, they could have put all that here. I can control my max windshield heat or my rear windshield heat. I can control it from here, but it would have just been so much easier to put it right there, Volkswagen. I don't know why they didn't do that. They do have buttons. They have the assist, the parking menu, the drive modes, and the climate, and that kind of, it's a quick shortcut to your climate, but it's still too much work. So we mentioned a little bit about the back seat. Well, the back seats are heated, like we said, but they're also small. There's not a lot of room in them. So if you're like a taller person and you live with taller people and you're driving taller people around, their chests are going to be in their knees almost the whole time because there's just not enough room in the back there. Not a huge deal. I wouldn't do a road trip longer than like 45 minutes in the back, but in the front, you're fine. So just keep that in mind if you're planning on driving quite a few people around in the Golf R. People in the back, you're going to have to move your seat up quite a bit. So now we took a look at every feature, interior, exterior. Let's go ahead, let's take it on the road and see how it drives. All right, so on the road with the 2023 Volkswagen Golf R. Spoiler alert, this car is really meant to be driven, and it's really, really fun to drive. It's the best to drive, you know, like sitting in it, looking around the interior, that's all fine and that's all cool and nice to look at, but boy, does it come to in its element when you're in the driver's seat. And let me tell you a little bit about that. So, driving just in general, this car is just as fun to drive slowly as it is to drive quickly. Because you can be in comfort mode and you can just cruise. The active dampers are so good at making the nice ride quality. You're getting near level SUV ride quality in a small form factor car, which to me, really, really incredible. Top marks for that. The handling is right there with you. Usually I drive this car in sport mode. It does have different sport mode. You have a comfort, a sport mode, a race mode, then Nurburgring mode, then drift mode, and we'll put it into the, you know, I did use drift mode, and let me tell you, there's nothing that will put a smile on your face quite like that. Quite like getting sideways. Oh boy, there's not much that will put a smile on your face. And we'll include some shots, obviously, of me doing that. And once I get to the testing area, I will put it in Nurburgring mode, and we'll see what it's got. And it's got a lot. Trust me, usually I like to keep my performance review reaction till I film, but I just couldn't resist. And I don't think you'll be able to either once you step in this car and you kind of feel that it's, even in cover mode, it's just kind of holding back that power, but it's so nice. And the steering is planted in pretty much any mode. I really do enjoy the steering. The four-wheel drive is excellent, very, very good too, especially in the winter. It was surprising. Last week I had a Ford Ranger XLT. If you saw that video, like the video, so we know. But but you know what? I was slipping way more in that car than I am in this car, and it makes no sense because this is a smaller, way lighter car, and it's just planted that, you know, the ability to kind of split 50-50 and kind of move the power around between the wheels. That Volkswagen has just done such a good job with that. And in the winter, it's planted, which to me makes this a very good winter driving car. And it's fast, so in the summer you can have a great time, and in the winter you know you're going to be safe. So that's excellent. Volkswagen has absolutely nailed it there. I also like the customizability of the driver's gauge cluster. You can press the view button on the steering wheel, which, like we said, is haptic feedback, so it's all right. But you press the view button and you can have a bunch of different customization options, different screens, different looks for the UI. It's really good. It's as if they just allowed you to customize it. You don't have to worry about having like too little. If I'm bored of one look one day, I could just change all the information that's displayed on my gauge cluster at any time. Also, the heads-up display is simple. I got my speed and the road signs, and that's it. That's all you need, and you can turn it off. And it's not one of those cheap ones that come out of the dash that usually I complain about. It's one of those ones that's projected right onto the windscreen, and I really like it. I've had it on the entire time. You heard me mention that this car has a special, not only does it have a race mode, but it has a special race mode, which is called the Nurburgring, because it's built to just dial in all those little nuances that you'd want out of a car that you're going to take at the Nurburgring, right? You want all those little changes to be absolutely pinpointed, and that's what this will do. Not to mention the speed boost that you get from it, right? So let me just get down to the bottom of this hill. I'll put on the brakes and I'll absolutely rip it. And spoiler alert, again, it's incredible. it never gets old, and you'll see that. And then let's go. Performance mode. Whoa! Look at this! We're way above 100 there. Yes, sir, that's quick. Oh my goodness. That just makes me want to scream. Oh my god. Listen, the Golf R, performance monster. I can call it that. The most fun car of the year. I can call it that right now. It's not only fast in a straight line, it is fast in corners. It's got great handling. This car just, it's so good to drive. It is just so fun to drive. I also have these little paddle shifters here that I can change gear up and down. It is quick. It's about as quick as I'd expect it to be. So no problems there. And also on a racetrack, these paddle shifters would be really fun to use, to just hammer out those gears, upshift, downshift, hear the noise of the exhaust. The exhaust note is okay. It's nothing like that we're going to brag about. It's nothing like the tuning that Hyundai have been able to do, but it is all right. I did get a shot of it, so we'll include it there if we have it. There is a little bit of pumped-in audio too, which I don't mind. I never really do, because honestly, whatever, who cares? It's just fun to go fast and to hear a little bit of the noise. Hopefully the camera is picking it up. Hopefully the audio is, you can hear it like I can hear it, but it's nice. I mean, it just adds that ambience of going absolutely, you know, tearing through the streets in any streets. And then obviously there's drift mode. You know, it turns your traction control off, sends all the power it can to the rear, and just lets you have probably one of the best times of your life, because I had such a good time, and I did it in a parking lot. I would not recommend doing this on the streets. It is a little bit dangerous to do that on the streets. Only if you have like really good driving capabilities, you could maybe do it on the streets, but it's just dangerous. Do it in a closed parking lot where there's no cars around and nothing that you can really hit or bang into that would cause significant damage to you or the car. I have to put that disclaimer because, you know, I don't want people just to think that, you know, you're not going to hit anything. It does turn your traction control off. It does spin. It does slide, but it's really fun. So listen, if you own the vehicle, more power to you, but try it in a parking lot, especially in snow. You really get the sliding, and that's what I did it in. So, oh my God, that was so much fun. Now, during the interior tour, you heard me talk about how just the climate control isn't useful. So, for example, like if I want to change the temperature, I have quick buttons here on my dashboard, but it's again, they're not physical buttons. It's like touch sensing buttons. So it's weird. It's like kind of far to reach. You don't always want to do that when you're driving. It's a distraction because like I'm here and then it takes a little bit to load, and then I went the wrong setting, and it's like I'm taking my eyes off the road more than I'd like to, and it's just like I just wish they had it there. Does it bother me enough to the point where I wouldn't buy it? Absolutely not, because the handling is so good in it. It handles so well. It does what I like to do, and that's drive. And it has all the other features there. You just kind of got to work a little bit to get them. So I think that's going to do it for the Golf R for this week. Like I said, I wish I had more time, but I don't. I have to give it back, and we'll switch into a new one next week. But it won't be a Golf R. Maybe it won't be as fun. But I'll keep bringing the cars as long as you guys keep watching. So stay tuned for next week, the Golf R. We've loved it. That's it. That's all we really got to say. I would buy this car if I had the budget for it. Definitely, it's an absolute buy. It's right there. It's got it. It's really good. It's fun. I don't know how many other words I can use to describe it, but yeah. Check it out for yourself. Let us know what you think. If you own a Golf R of any year, I want to hear from that community. Let us know if you like this Golf R. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Is there a feature I should have mentioned? Is there a feature you like? Is there features you don't like? Do you agree with me on the climate control system? Anything that you have to say about the Golf R, we're willing to hear it. Leave a like if you did like. If you made it this far in the video, you gotta give us that subscribe. Come on, you can't watch a whole video and not give us the subscribe. So hit the subscribe button, smash it, share this video everywhere. If you know somebody that's in the market for a Golf R, share the video with them. Maybe my opinion would help, and that's kind of the whole goal of me doing this thing. I want to help you make arguably maybe the third to second biggest purchase of your life. So that being said, before I ramble for too long, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.